Hi, everybody. Welcome back to 30 Days Until Done. We're working through our vignettes. Today, we're going to work on our No One Is Listening vignette. That time when you're trying to speak and no one will hear you. Now, for me, that's a lot. I grew up as a hard of hearing child, and I was profoundly hard of hearing. And to say something, people don't want to talk to hard of hearing people because it's a hassle. And so I try to say something, and they might physically hear you, but you don't feel heard, right? Because nobody will acknowledge what you're doing. So I'm gonna choose one of those times. Maybe just this time I'm just trying to speak. You know, all else is difficult being a child is you've got your ideas and your emotions are more complex than your vocabulary. So there's a lot going on there. And so sometimes you're afraid and you're just trying to express something and you can't do it, or you're going through whatever emotions you have during that time. So I think I'm going to choose a time when I was going to go on a trip. This was my sort of later teens. I was going to go on a trip by myself, and like everyone kept changing the trip on me. They say, "No, well, you're going to do this." And it's like, "No, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do." And I was late enough teen that I could do it. I was like 19 or something, but it was just so frustrating that like, because I was hard of hearing, no one was listening to what I was saying, and they kept modifying my plans so that I could drive them and drop them off. It's like finally, it's like I just left. I left like in the middle of the night, and I went off and I did my thing, right? And so that'd be a really great vignette. Maybe just the conversation, that frustrating, difficult. Now we all have that. We all have that in our past when people just aren't listening to what we're saying. This can be frustrating, and it can be really, really traumatic too. So if you're dealing with this, if you're dealing with true trauma, but just be aware of what you're putting yourself through. This might, you might be aware of doing this by yourself, right? At this point, go for the frustrating as opposed to the purely traumatic. Or if you do, that's fine, but just be careful, be aware. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow on 30 Days Until Done.